Look at it, it looks terrible. Ooh. Boy, I messed up this year. I neglected this yard through the winter and last fall. Again, look around. I got moles, got holes, I got leaves, I got weeds. And if you look, and all the green stuff right there, there's still a lot of dormant material in there. But that's all right. Today, I'm gonna fix it all. All right, getting started here. So I had a bad mole problem this year. And they really messed things up. You see all this right here? That's where all the moles were. It is so bumpy right here, it's ridiculous. I bought one of these things this year and I used it, and despite the fact that it's super temperamental, pretty sure I stabbed a couple of the moles in the head with it. All the moles appear to be gone. There's no new tunnels, but still the damage is already done. And you see spots like this, that's where the dog was trying to kill the moles. There's another spot right there. So I'm going to have to do some leveling today too. The first part of the master plan today is to take that drum, fill it full of water, and just like I did when I rolled the seed in this yard, I'm gonna mash them molehills down. Whew, that was done. That's a workout, pushing around that drum. You know, you don't have to be cheap like me. If you had a lawn roller, it does the same thing. It's actually got a handle on it. It's not quite as much of a workout, but it'll do the same thing. But the reason why I spent so much time getting that done and trying to get the bumps down, because the next thing I'm gonna do is scalp this. Let me take a minute to do a little doodle on the whiteboard about scalping. All right, talking zoysia. In the wintertime, I always cut mine before it goes dormant at about 2 inches. So that gives it a little fluff. So, and it kind of armors the soil over the wintertime. So spring comes along and you start seeing this right here, a little green coming up in it, and you go, if you don't put pre-emergent down, or even if you do, you get a breakthrough and you get a bunch of weeds coming up. Here's the reason why you scalp. So imagine if you got all this little green popping up in here like this. Then you're looking at it, the green and the brown kind of go together. So it gives the lawn a dingy look. But you come by and you cut it down as low as you can. Just like that. What that does is that allows sunlight to come in and it warms the ground. And then you get all your new grass coming up and it looks like this, and it looks all nice and green, and you're not seeing any of the brown crap anymore. So I think I've heard people think that dormant grass like this blade right here will turn green. It doesn't. It just kind of rots and falls off. The green comes from the crown of the plant, and it's a new blade that comes up. So let's look over here at the weeds. Another thing you can do when you whack it down like that is it does this too. It whacks the weeds off.
Giggity.
And you see I had some little dots right here representing like seed heads off of weeds. Well, some weeds are annuals, and when you whack them down like that, they can't ever recover. And all those seeds that get thrown up in your bag, that's another seed that can't make it to the soil and try to germinate later on in the year. Any weed seed that gets moved off site and any weed that you can kill without using a chemical is always a win. Now that we got all that out of the way and you understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, one thing left to do is to start scalping. Look at that, y'all. Scalped at like 3/4 inch, the whole yard. Look at all these little light color spots. That's where that POA got smacked down. How satisfying was that? Watching all those little tufts of POA just get gnawed to bits and thrown in the bagger. Now look, if you were gonna do a proper leveling job, like them boys that do real mowers do, you see where it's brown versus where it's green? That gives you a good indication of your low spots and your high spots. You can kind of see, even though I rolled it, that's where that mole was cutting up over here. It was all these little brown spots right here. I'm not that concerned with that because I don't real mow. I mow at about 1.5 inches, so this ain't that big a deal. What I'm mainly concerned with is these guys right here. We call them ankle breakers over here, where the dog was doing exploratory top secret Navy SEAL missions to kill moles and didn't kill any of them. All right, let's talk about my mix. I'm gonna mix up to fill in those holes and do some leveling. I got 1 bag of natural play sand and I got 1 bag of topsoil. So there's a few trains of thought on doing leveling. Some people use topsoil, just topsoil. My thoughts on that is that it's got a lot of organic material in it, and as that organic material breaks down in the heat of the summer, it's going to leave a divot. It's going to break down and there's still going to be a hole. Now it might not be as deep a hole, but a hole nonetheless. Now all the real cut dudes that do they're cutting at 1/4 inch, they use sand because it doesn't settle. It doesn't rot, like it don't have any organic material in it. But that's the problem with it. It don't have any organic material in it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split the difference and mix the sand and like a 50-50 mix between the sand and the topsoil. All right, let's mix up some dirts. That's a little chunkier than I'd like it to be. Yeah. It's like mixing mortar over here. Look at the consistency of that. That is beautiful. I can do some work with this. All right, hole number 1. Now, that's going to work out real nice because all that zoysia will crawl right back in there and fill that in no time. And I'm done. No more ankle breaker there. Oh, let's get out of the sun. No more ankle breaker there. I did some here and over there. You see a little darker spot over there. And now for the last part of the master plan. I need to fertilize this stuff to get it growing, and I need to put something down to whack the weeds where they don't come back. I've already whacked them with a lawnmower. Now I need to give them something to where they ain't gonna be encouraged to grow back. As a matter of fact, it's gonna kill them. It should. What do I got here? A bag, as a matter of fact, a half bag of bonus S. Now I'm gonna be honest, I usually don't condone the use of weeding feeds. Weeding feeds, in my opinion, are way overused. But when you're in a situation like this, where you've got a neglected lawn, maybe you just bought a house or something like that, or you're like me, and you didn't do what you were supposed to do over the winter time, you can look at that as a reset button. Now the active ingredient bonus S is atrazine. It's safe on St. Augustine, centipede, and zoysia lawns. Do not put this on Bermuda. But the cool thing about atrazine is that it will kill poa annua and annual bluegrass, and it'll catch most of these broadleafs out here that I whack too. The fertilizer analysis is a 29010, so it's going to give it a nice shot of nitrogen to make that zoysia fill back in and recover from the scalp. It's all out. All the weed and feed bonus S is out. Now, I'm gonna take a teleport 2 weeks into the future so we can see some results. Get one long last look. Well, as you can see, the zoysia bounced right back, but it looks like I got a lot more feed than I did weed. Come check this out. We got a big old ball of annual ryegrass that I whacked with a lawnmower. It's living its best life like nothing ever happened. It's outgrowing the zoysia. There's another one. Got this weed right here. I think this is oxalis. You can see it's burned up a little bit. Now maybe this will eventually kill it, but it ain't the whack I was expecting. Got some Poa annual right here. It did a decent job on that. Well, there's the results. Well, you see what I mean about I didn't get as much weed action as I thought I was gonna get. What, did I misapply it? Very possibly, because on the bag it says that you're supposed to not cut the grass. It's supposed to get, I think that what they're trying to do is those little fertilizer prills that's got the herbicide on it. It's supposed to bounce off those leaves so you get a little bit of some foliar action, and obviously I didn't do that. I scalped everything down. But it's also my understanding that weeding feed such as atrazine, when it gets watered in, that the weeds suck it in through the roots, which you can see we got some action going on, but it's just not what I expected. So misapplication, or the fact that I got it off the clearance rack. Is it the fact that the weeding feed is just old? Or does weeding feed just suck? I think it's probably a combination of everything, really. Spray herbicides always work better. I've always found that to be true. So it's not a big deal. I'll come out here and in probably another week, I'll put some speed zone down for those, some of those broadleaves that the atrazine didn't catch. I'll give it some RGS, some sea kelp to get this growth going better. I need to mow it. And I'll probably I'll either get some Amaziquin, the green bottle image from Home Depot, like a little spray bottle, and hit those ryegrass balls, or I might just pull it up and just let the zoysia fill in. Well, folks, this is gonna wrap up this video. I hope you learned something. Maybe you were slightly entertained, maybe. If you like this zoysia content, go ahead and hit the like button for me. If you're not subscribed and you want to see more of this, I'm gonna do a few more videos through the summer, but it's not bad for seeded zoysia. A fraction of the cost aside, right? As far as my other content goes, I got a lot of junk rescue stuff that I'm doing. If you're interested in that, then make double sure you subscribe. Also got some landscaping projects and some stuff I'm gonna do around the garden. I'm gonna share that with you guys. I appreciate you stopping by and watching to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Come back and see me.